Anurag. Firstly, I'd like to say that we are entering a new era. There is going to be a change in the global order of things, and also, uh, as everybody can witness, the center of gravity of the power equation is shifting towards the east, and it is India, China, Japan, and the Pacific and Southeast Asian countries and Pacific nations, which are now determining the volume of trade and also activities relating to security of the world. So, keeping this in mind, I think this new global order will see China, India rising up as world powers. And in the case of America, since they had retracted from the world initially, but now they will have to rethink on this particular issue. We will need to have changes in the UN Security Council. We may have to make changes in the World Trade Organization, International Monetary Fund, and many other. Absolutely. Very importantly, at this time, the World Health Organization also needs to be reviewed. Now, what these formulations were done after the Second World War and the powers at that time. Some of them are no longer the same position today. So that is the first thing I would like to say. The world will be a different world as we go along with the corona virus. This virus is not going to be eliminated in a finite time. It may continue. Nobody still knows the real secrets of the corona formula. It is man-made, it has been naturally created or what. But most people are now veering around to the opinion that it is an accident of a experiment being tried out in Wuhan, and whatever China may say, whatever the world powers may say, I think there is evidence which is trying to suggest that there was something which is not very well clearly on the cards, is something fishy. And some people have died unknowingly. Nobody knows how it happened, but some evidence has gone away. So now, why I'm saying all this as a preamble, as India is doing its fight against coronavirus, I think we are going to fight this virus and with the will to win. And India is doing reasonably well so far. Compared to our population and compared to other countries, even developed countries, either our decisions were taken in the right time or our people have all cooperated. Despite the hardship, despite the inconvenience, we have the lowest mortality rate per million. One per million is our mortality rate, whereas it is 175 for America and over 200 for Italy. So I think there's something which our formula is proving to be right. Now we need to continue, and I think as Indians have shown it, we are all united. This is not the time to score political points, and I feel the entire nation should be together. The leadership required today is setting an example, and we should set an example as leaders. This is the test of leadership. Somebody asked me, what is happening in Punjab? I said, this is now a challenge to the leadership. They have to prove their worth. And therefore, otherwise, it will not happen that you will not be adversely affected by this corona. I also want to say that the nation should be motivated by people who are in positions of influencing opinions. And that is what we can do sitting in a lockdown position. And people do ask us, what are you doing? I said, we can't get out, but at least we can write, we can speak, we can convey our messages through people. So we have to play our role as leaders in this manner. There are some other points also, but we'll come to that later. Anurag, I think the best way to handle such situation is to appeal to their sense of reasoning and logic. Because if you have logic on your side, and I believe if your path is righteous, cause is just, victory will be yours. You have to convince them. What we are now trying to do is on a war footing, trying to win this war against the coronavirus. Now we have to be together. We can't have individual opinions. Even though some decisions are harsh, some decisions are causing inconvenience, they have to be handled that way because there is no soft option when you are faced with a challenge like this. And I believe that the subordinates who have a different point of view, it's no point shutting them up, but it's better to convince them, and eventually they do realize that yes, there is sense in what my superior is saying. And I always believed in having a team. A teamwork will always produce good results, and in your team, don't collect all yes men. I believe that a person who's a yes man is a dangerous person to have around you. And I always kept the people who were frank to give me advice. Sir, I don't think this is a good idea. And I would welcome such negative views, and I would analyze them and do mid course correction or change the plans. So I think we have to handle subordinates. In this case today, we are handling a population of one over a billion. Now, how do you ensure that everyone follows what you say? But yes, Indians have shown it. That is why all the parameters which you take, whether it's mortality rate, whether it's recovery rate, whether it is, you can say how many people have been affected per population wise, I think we are doing well. And we should continue this and try to emerge as a victorious nation against this corona challenge. It's a very interesting question. I'll go back 2, 3 decades back. I was, when I was commissioned, my purpose was that I will try and be a good officer, a good platoon and company commander to the soldiers who are placed under my command. And I try to do a job more than 100% or whatever was given to me, and we achieved results. I believe that it's better to show your results and let them speak rather than one speaks himself. Second point, I also believed that after the command of the battalion, which is the acme of your leadership as an infantry officer, anything else which comes your way is a bonus. And therefore, I tried to be the best commanding officer. That was the purpose of my life at that time. Now, I believe that in every leader there are certain qualities, and no two leaders are the same. The leadership styles also will be different. In my case, I believe that I had some moral values and spiritual values of my upbringing as a child, and that is coming from our scriptures. And our civilizational strength gives us that strength to face formidable odds like we are facing today. And I believe I was in the ICU for about 12 days from 26 December this year. And I had a problem with something to do with my lungs. And I said, I'm going to fight this problem. And I had willpower and I had spiritual strength. And I also believed in musical therapy. If some people want to ask me more about it, I'm welcome to tell them that. But I did overcome this problem and I became all right. And today I'm there in front of you. I also have faced many challenges in life. I don't believe you entirely. It could be some kind of a game being played somewhere. Anyway, I also believe that now I would like to be a good citizen of our country. And as given in our wonderful Constitution 51A, it says what are the duties and responsibilities of a citizen. And I think if we all follow that, firstly, we should read it. And secondly, we should follow it. And then India will be definitely on the path of becoming a superpower that we deserve to be. Now, look at Germany, look at Japan, look at Singapore. They have all come up because their citizens felt that it is their country and it is their nation and they need to make it the best. And therefore, we will also achieve the same results provided we are able to function as good citizens. I had mentioned about it that the world order is going to change in this next decade or two. Secondly, India is going to emerge better than many countries in facing this corona challenge. And thirdly, I feel the world currencies will also undergo some changes. The dollar's importance will probably come down. The Chinese currency and Indian currency, the rupee, also will go up. and therefore we might see a world where there will be more than one international currency. These are some of the things which I think might happen. That is unfortunately my Achilles heel. I am not very good at that, but yes, I do write, and I have written a very nice book on India and China and a boundary problem. This is the second book. The first one is my life story and also about Siachen, Kargil, all our national challenges. So I'm spending this time of being locked down into writing and also exchanges like today.